श्री सैयद हैदर रजा। इनकी याद में इनकी पहली पुण्यतिथि पर मध्य प्रदेश के मंदिता में भी एक कार्यक्रम का आयोजन हुआ और हम गुड इवनिंग इंडिया की पूरी टीम की ओर से इस महान विभूति को श्रद्धा सुमन अर्पित करते हैं। अब समय है आपको मिलवाने का युवा प्रतिभा भरतनाट्यम नृत्यांगना शरण्या चंद्रन से, जिनके अपने शब्दों में अगर कहा जाए तो इनका जीवन का लक्ष्य है नृत्य के द्वारा समाज में बदलाव लाना। शरण्या जी, आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत है। वेलकम टू आवर शो।
Thank you so much.
We would start the conversation, but before that we would like to show our viewers a few glimpses of your performances. Sharanya, you were born into a family which was, the place where you see Bharatanatyam everywhere, since your mother is Padma Shri Geeta Chandran ji. So how were you initiated into dance? You always wanted to become a dancer?
So I started learning the art form of Bharatanatyam at the age of 4. So at that time I don't really think I had a conscious agenda that I want to become a dancer or any plan, any structured plan. I had not planned anything. But I think over the years, today what I am, I think the dance teaching learning process has really defined what I have become, what I believe in, my value system and so on. So as you know, my mother founded Natya Vriksha around the time when I was 4. So Natya Vriksha's journey sort of neatly maps with my journey as a dancer. And I think the teaching learning process has been so special for me for multiple reasons, because it's not run-of-the-mill kind of an approach. And at least at Natya Vriksha, the focus is equally on the process of learning as it is on the performance. So the end output of the performance is not the only goal, but we really have fun through the teaching learning process, and that's what's really special for me. So for instance, it's not only learning the grammar of the art form, but it's understanding music, it's understanding history, it's understanding poetry, literature, and drawing inspiration from all of these. So when we go out for a walk, we actually, at least I, really focus on nature and see how the leaves are moving or how they are reacting to the wind, and how we could replicate that in our hasta mudras at the right time. So I think it's all about adding a bit of yourself to whatever you learn, and that process. So in the beginning when we were children, it was more about just the grammar of the art form, but over the years all these elements you become sensitized, and performing arts are a huge sensitizing they really sensitize human beings, and this is what I find extremely special. So that's been my journey literally, and having a mother as my guru, she never gives any special privileges. So I learnt along with all the others in the dance class, and that's how the teaching learning process has been.
So you've been fortunate enough for you've learned under Guru Shishya Parampara as well as Parivar Parampara. So how important in your view is Guru Shishya Parampara?
So I think Guru Shishya Parampara is extremely important, and in that you don't imbibe only the art, the grammar of the art, but you imbibe a whole way of living. And I think we have been fortunate at Natya Vriksha that we are learning from a guru who is also a performer and an active performer, and that really makes a difference. Because you travel with your guru, you perform with your guru. I have had the good fortune of even doing Natuangam, being part of the orchestra when my guru performs. So I think, yeah, this Guru Shishya Parampara is just something that it may sound like a huge, very, uh, hard and a very sort of abstract term, but in actuality it's just about, teaching and learning and being with the Guru and imbibing a way of life without even knowing so.
So we can see on our screens visuals of a little Sharanya demonstrating the mudras. So how old were you, Sharanya, when you were performing this?
At this point I was, I think, about 6 years old.
6 years.
And this was my first performance at the National Museum. And this is the first item that any young dancer of Bharatanatyam learns, which is called the Alaripu, which literally means the blossoming of the flower.
Wow.
So it's simple.
You can actually see a flower blossoming here.
So it's hand, neck, eye movements, and how gradually it builds. That's the Alaripu.
So if you could also tell us more about Natya Vriksha. This organization basically works towards preservation and promotion of Indian culture.
That's right. So again, it was formed by my guru, Geeta Chandran, 25 years ago. And the mandate is not just to teach the art form. We have about over 120 students, and now all across the world who have gone and spread the art form in different ways. But it's about learning this holistic teaching learning process that I was alluding to just a while earlier. And what is unique, we also have a Natya Vriksha dance company. I'm a senior dancer and I'm part of that. So here we not only look at solo, but we also look at duets, group choreographies. And the process is very interesting because either it's the music that is the starting point, or it's just temple architecture. So in fact, last year I performed a duet with one of my colleagues in Khajuraho, where we used the inspiration of the Khajuraho temples and the platforms and the high and low platforms and that architecture to actually do this Alaripu. And that was again a unique process. What we are seeing here is again another variant of the Alaripu for a production that was conceptualized only last year. It's called Anekanta.
Okay.
And it basically it germinates from the Jaina philosophy, which says that there could be multiple truths. Something could be true, but its opposite could well be true. And it's about embracing multiplicity. It's about embracing diversity. So हमारे समाज में आज I think we can do a lot more of that and imbibe the philosophy of Anekanta to understand this. So so many times we, through Natya Vriksha Dance Company, we not only look at, we've looked at such social themes to spread the message of, and I feel that dance cannot be divorced from the social context that you find yourself in. So it's not about learning something that was 2,500 years old and just, it's a lot about contextualizing it in today's day and age to make it relevant. And often I think there is this artificial distinction between classical and the contemporary that a lot of people sort of propagate. But I just don't find that barrier, because if classical was not contemporary, how did it survive for so many years, right? So it's all about contextualizing, customizing, reaching out, and to me personally, many times I've rejected, certain lyrical, some certain poetry that I did not relate to, because I felt that that may not be relevant in today's social context. For instance, some Narastutis or those that patronize kings, which were written in a particular social historical context, but may not be as relevant today. So I may learn it, but I choose not to perform it. And that's not, it's a personal statement for myself that I make. And just to say that I am socially relevant. It's not necessarily, something that I do for proving a point.
Okay. When you talk about dance as a medium for social change, you have actually done a lot of performances which address issues like women empowerment, female feticide, drug abuse. So do you think dance can actually be a medium for social change? How strongly do you believe in it?
Of course, I think definitely. So it doesn't mean that you view dance as propaganda. That's not the agenda. We go with an agenda. But sometimes even the audiences are changing so much. today, that you find yourself in a very violent, vulnerable social context in which you are performing all of this. You see rape, you see women abuse, and so we found it. We find it just to be completely divorced from that context would be something that would be untrue. So we try to link the dance with social themes, keeping the core grammar of the art form intact. We try and see how we can, we've looked at the theme of women empowerment, we've looked at female feticide, we've looked at such, even war against drugs. So we've tried to very subtly integrate such social themes through the medium of dance, and that's sometimes it's through innovative music that you try and experiment to bring across that, and the response has been great. So it's about sensitization more than propaganda or going with an agenda necessarily when you look at such productions. And as I said, like the Anekanta, it's just such a philosophy that itself would educate people and help us reduce the violence and the sort of very aggressive attitudes that we find all over us, all around us today. So it's just about that subtlety, that subtle messaging. कुछ लोगों को समझ आ जाता है, and कुछ लोगों को of course और time लगता है, but I think dance can be a very powerful communication tool, and sort of both the abhinay and the pure dance, which are the two core elements of Bharatanatyam, can be used to even sort of bring out such social messaging subtly.
So at this point of time, we'll like to show our viewers a few more glimpses of your performances.
Kum ata re okay ka ata ka jam ta jam ta jam ata kum ata re okay ka ata ka jam ta kum ta tik tik ta ta ka jam ata jam ada jam ada kum ta tik tik ta ta ka jam ta kum ta tik tik ta ta ka jam ta jam ada kum ta tik tik ta ta ka jam ta kum ta tik tik ta ta ka jam ta jam ada kum ta tik tik ta ta ka jam ta kum ta tik tik ta ta ka jam ta jam ada jam ada kum ta tik tik ta ta ka devana Talking about your individualistic style, which are the aspects that you enjoy the most? Yeah, I think every dancer has certain elements that they really enjoy. For me, I love playing with rhythm. you know, and rhythm is a key component. You just saw in the clipping that was actually from Nardagana Sabha in the last year's Chennai music and dance season. And it's interesting because I love to play this spurt of energy that you saw. It's called a jati. So it's interspersed with Abhinay segments in one of the longest formats of Bharatanatyam, which is called the Varnam, which is what you saw right now in Ragam Bihag, Vanajaksha. So I really love playing with rhythm and listening to these different types of jatis. So tadiku didiku taka dingu takita taka ding ding kukuta kukuta tane kutakna kutaka dhum taritatana tanata junu junu tatimi dhimita takajam ta di tatana. So I love listening to rhythm. I was always strong at maths, so I try to understand the kanak or the rhythmic sort of combinations that these jatis entail, and it's a lovely process to learn these, then look try and choreograph them and finally perform them. So for instance, even जैसे कथक में बोल होते हैं ना टुकड़े, so उसमें कुछ एक ही बोल लेके हम लोग we try and work out different permutations and combinations. So for instance, let me give you an example. Tam ti taka tadimi din taka taka takati tam ti taka tadimi din taka taka. So चल रहा takatimi takatimi. Another way of doing the same thing would be tam ti taka tadimi din taka taka takati tam ti taka tadimi din taka taka. Bowl same hai, but you're doing it in a different way. Tam ti taka tadimi din taka taka takati tam ti taka tadimi din taka taka. Right? So this is something that really excites me. And the other aspect I think that I really love learning is abhinay, so expressions. And how you can look at abhinay as such a powerful communication tool to narrate anything. And I think our guru has really encouraged us to not only go by the line meaning and learn exactly how a certain piece or a padam is taught by her, but to add elements to it based on, so when we learn any padam, say it's a Mirabai का कोई पद है, so हम ऐसे, it's not that I will do the same hands as what my mother taught me, but she would tell us and encourage all of us to do at least 2 new hands. Think for ourselves that bhakti bhav mein aap, you know the vocabulary, you know the hasta mudras, you know what looks, you will see what looks good on yourself. And that is something again that we have always been encouraged to do. So not like follow a one size fits all sort of an approach, but to see really what would work for you. So for instance, my hands are really long. Hands and limbs are very long. So some things that work for me may not work for someone else, and vice versa. So really being able to customize the art form to make a beautiful aesthetic statement is something that I find very interesting.
So that's your performance on a Meera Bhajan?
Yes, yes. This was for the World Dance Day in 2014. So Natya Vriksha organizes a Young Dancers Festival every year around April, May. To promote young dancers, young classical Indian dancers from across India, and to give them a platform to perform. So this was part of it. I think we have done about over 12 editions of World Dance Day, and it's become quite a popular festival, giving a platform to different artists across the country.
Beautiful. So you were just saying that you were very good at maths. So you have had a brilliant academic career throughout. So in your student days, how did you balance, your studies with dance? It must have been really difficult.
So I think dance was just part of my routine right from the beginning. So it never seemed as like an add-on or like an extracurricular. It was just co-curricular. It was always, like you went to school, you danced. Like you went to LSR, the college that I went to, you danced. So it was never, it was just a part, it was part of life. So I never viewed it as, but as, now reflecting back, that's part of the reason why I think I can manage my time better. So for instance, I am also active in the development policy space. So I work for an organization called JPAL, which is in the impact evaluation space of anti-poverty programs, where we try and work with policymakers on social issues across sectors to see what works and what doesn't and how that can be integrated into policy. So again, sort of the skills that I have acquired as through the Guru Shishya Parampara and the training in dance, which is rigor, discipline, time management, is something that is very useful in that workspace as well. And I think also teamwork. So dance, I've always learnt in a group, and now I'm performing in a group. So that has been part of my whole psyche right from the beginning, and I think some of those skills help me work very closely with my team, understand them better in different contexts. So that is something that I feel my career in development feeds into my career in dance and vice versa.
But I'm sure it is not easy to multitask. There's a lot of effort that goes into it. How is your typical day like?
So I'm an early riser. So I get up early in the morning. So that's the time when I do my solo rehearsals, and then I have my other development work that I go to, which is from 10 to 7, and evenings are group classes. So yes, it just means that you cut down on your social life, which is a compromise that's totally I'm happy to do, because my two passions, dance and development, really overpower any other.
Okay, so which is your most memorable performance?
I think that would be Khajuraho.
Okay.
Because Ek to audience was absolutely brilliant, and that feedback that you got from the audience was really memorable. And second, you had the temple right behind you, so that inspiration that you got. So as I was indicating a little earlier, we had done this custom Alaripu. We had conceptualized it, and in fact a few months before the Khajuraho performance, I was in Chidambaram. And when I saw the architecture of Chidambaram, I said that, oh God, this geometry, it just lends itself to the Alaripu. And so we conceptualized the Alaripu, the Tishra Alaripu, the very basic Alaripu that any dancer learns, and we did it in Khajuraho. And to have the temples at the back and to do that inspiration from the architecture and to dance and wo ek that feeling, that joy was absolutely amazing. Oh yes,
so while you talk about this performance, we also have some visuals from the same performance.
This is also part of the same. This was a solo that I had done. It's Ninda Stuti, Katana Bedana Mohedesi Madana, where the comparison is between Shiva and Radha, where Radha is telling Manmatha or Cupid, please stop showering arrows on me. Can't you see I'm not Shiva? I'm just an ordinary girl waiting for Krishna. And so this is beautiful. Vidyapati Pad.
विभूति भूषण नाही चनन करेनु विभूति भूषण नाही चनन करेनु विभूति भूषण विभूति डूबती रतना मोही देसी मदना मोही देसी मदना मोही देसी मदना मदना So Sharanya, which are the future projects that you are planning to work on?
So there's a very interesting collaboration that we're currently working on, which is across styles. So I'm working with Odissi, Kathak, Kadagali, Manipuri artists who are very senior artists, and we are doing something interesting. I'm not going to talk so much, but we're going to be premiering it at the Festival of India in Colombia and Ecuador in August. So we're very excited about it for Independence Day.
Your message for our audience, the young dancers who really want to get into this field and make a career out of it?
Yeah. First, get a good guru, get a good mentor, and just immerse yourself in the arts, because it's a journey that you would not regret. And even be informed and nice rasikas, even if you don't want to learn the art form. Be informed audiences and have an informed rejection if you do not like it. That's absolutely fine. But try and understand, read up more, watch more performances before accepting or rejecting the art form, because I think that's something that everybody can do.
Thank you very much, Sharanya, for being here on the show. It was indeed a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you so much, Sadipya. My pleasure.
तो इसी के साथ गुड इवनिंग इंडिया का यह अंक यहाँ खत्म होता है, पर खत्म होने से पहले आपको ये बता दें कि आपको हमारा आज का यह अंक कैसा लगा। आप हमें ये बता सकते हैं। आपको हमारा ईमेल आईडी याद दिला देते हैं। हमारा ईमेल आईडी है goodiveningindiafriday@gmail.com। आपके सुझावों का हमें हमेशा इंतजार रहता है। चलिए इसी के साथ अब अंत करते हैं इस एपिसोड का, इसी कामना के साथ कि आप सबका मंगल हो। नमस्कार।